Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Welcome to Crypto Hash Review. We educate and disseminate information about Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies from a Muslim perspective. Now, normally the questions that we answer here are from our website. If you have any questions you wish to ask us, you can contact us on our website. We have a section where you can contact us. You can either send a message that I tend to reply to on these videos, or you can request a call back and we'll have a one-to-one discussion. I never really use this time to answer questions that were mentioned on our Telegram group. So for those of you who don't know, we have a Telegram group that you can join where we discuss things crypto and Bitcoin and whatnot. And if you want to join, you can find a link in the description below. But please make sure that you have 7,500 Satoshis in your Lightning wallet, because if you enter, the bot's going to ask you as a test to see if you're human and the rest of it to pay up. Anyway, it's only a couple of pence or pounds. But this particular question annoyed me so much, I felt I had to address it. And to be honest, I have already addressed it. I mean, when I first read it, I thought, oh, not again. We made like 60 odd videos just to try and put these arguments to rest. But yeah, so I'll read the question. So after Salah today, got into a discussion with some brothers. Now, what I find interesting is that people, when they come to Bitcoin, come to crypto, and they see the benefits that Bitcoin offers them, the things that how it can help them in their lives, having self-sovereignty, taking their money out of the banks, and so on and so forth. People obviously are very excited. They want to spread this knowledge, want to spread this khair to everyone else. And they tell their friends, they tell their family. Now, a few things could happen. Either you tell your friends about this amazing thing called Bitcoin, they hear this information, they believe what you're saying, and say, mashallah, that sounds very good, let me look into it, let me research it, and let me find out if I can also take part in this good, if that good exists. That would be the ideal response. But unfortunately, what's very, very common is the response you're going to come here. So let's continue. And we'll try and touch upon why that is. There were some objections that came up with regards to Bitcoin. Okay. So this is what they said. I'd rather have my savings in the bank, losing value each year around 3%, but it is protected via regulation, etc., than to put it into Bitcoin, which is so volatile, I could lose much more. So, just that part alone just boils the blood. But there's so many fallacies in just that one thing, and so many things which actually it brings about a certain psychology. Okay, first of all, I would rather put my money in the bank that loses money each year about 3%. No, you don't lose money through inflation by having money in the bank. You lose value or purchasing power by just having fiat, whether it's in the bank or it's at home in your mattress. So this argument for the banks, by the way, this is an argument to have it in the bank, is a fallacy. The banks have nothing to do with inflation like that. They do cause it through money lending and the rest of it, but it's not your money being in the bank while your money's being lost. That's the first fallacy. Second fallacy, inflation isn't 3%. You're looking in excess of 10% a year, and in some places a lot more. It's not 3%. If you're going to lose 10% every year, you do the calculation. How long will it take for your money to just halve? Secondly, number three, protected via regulation. No. There are rules and regulations that guarantee the loan that you have given them. By the way, listen carefully. You have given them a loan. You have given someone an interest-bearing loan. Just bear witness to that, to the banks. And the governments have regulations that obviously guarantee that loan, but only if certain things take place. So if the bank is in financial difficulties and they need funds to stay afloat, they can use your funds and take away your money. And that's not protected. After the 2008 crash, those laws changed. And now what we have in place in the legal framework is what's called a bail-in, whereby your deposits will be converted into investment into the actual bank, and you lose your money. Like what happened in Greece in 2013. The regulations they are talking about is what they call a national insurance for a particular bank, and that's only if the bank actually fails. Bail-ins are there to prevent failure. So no, your money isn't actually protected as you think it is. Rather than put it to Bitcoin, which is so volatile, I might lose much more. Again, more lies. Since Bitcoin has started, Bitcoin's only been going up. There actually hasn't been a period in history in Bitcoin that Bitcoin has had a loss over a long period of time. Short time, obviously, it goes up, it goes down, but it has been consistently going up for the past 12 years. So you're talking about something which is confirmed to go up over the past 12 years, compared to something that is confirmed to go down since inception. So that's the first fallacy. It continues on. Number 2, Bitcoin is haram. Because it's not tangible. Bitcoin is haram because it's not tangible. Have you ever heard such nonsense that something is haram because I can't grip onto it and can't hold onto it? If I loaned you money and now you've given me an IOU, can I grab the IOU? Your IOU is a verbal thing. It's a promise to pay me back. So IOUs, loans, are not tangible. Are they haram? Anyway, the person continues, when I mentioned things like online courses and other things that are not tangible, they said those things are goods and services. Whereas Bitcoin is currency and categorized differently. Where's your evidence? Show me a hadith, show me an ayah that says that money is one thing and goods and services is something else. Show me. Anyway, to entertain this at some point, to some degree, in the past, I don't know what to say. I mean, like I said, I just said you can have loans and loans are not tangible. All you need is just a verbal agreement and I'll pay you back and that money is now, and I can transfer that loan and use that loan to buy other things. I could do hawala. I mean, whatever. So that's why it's haram, by the way. Okay, fair enough, whatever. By the way, fiat money is not tangible. More than 97% of all fiat does not actually have physical form. This is a double standards and hypocrisy of most people who come up with this nonsense. Say, Bitcoin is not tangible. Fiat is not tangible. Just because you can have a pound coin on right here on the table desk doesn't mean that all money is actually exists. Less than 3% of all fiat that exists actually is in physical form. The rest of it is digital. It's not tangible. So, whatever. Number 3. Since Bitcoin is limited in where I can use it and spend it, I have to rely on cash fiat. Therefore, I only put my money in Bitcoin as an investment in the hope of a return, which is like gambling. Placing my money in something that would hold its purchasing power or maybe even increase it is gambling because it's so volatile. Where are we getting this nonsense from? Gambling is where I put money into something, you put money into something. I say if the sun goes this, if the cat moves left, you get it. If the cat goes right, I get it. And the cat goes left, and then I lose and he wins. That's gambling. This is not gambling. You are taking your fiat, crap money, you're giving it to an exchange, and you're getting good money, Bitcoin. So you actually have money. So I gave money and I have money. That's not gambling. Gambling, I put money, I don't have nothing. I just have the money in the pot. I either win back the money plus a return or I lose everything. How's that Bitcoin? As you can see, I'm a bit frustrated because these, you know what it is? Because these arguments, they're not genuine. They're not real. And I mentioned this to the brother on the group. The reason why I said not real is because I guarantee, and I've seen this myself, this salty person who is very salty because they never got in early, they never got Bitcoin, it's $100, and now they're looking at it, what it is, and they missed out. This is what it is. If you actually was to give them a whole Bitcoin, you say, look, brother, look, I know you don't have Bitcoin, but look, here you go, here's a whole Bitcoin, take it. Wallahi, they'll take it. You know they'll take it. Very few people who still be even stubborn to say, no, I don't want it. But he just said haram. But you know he will take it. It's just whatever. I mean, whatever. So, I did mention the data shows that a steady climb throughout each cycle, as I mentioned to you already. And they mentioned when countries, governments ban it, it will drop. That's the case of Turkey and other countries. Again, it's not sincere. So governments banning something makes it haram. We've had so many attempts of people trying to ban Bitcoin in India, in China, in Turkey, all these things, and Bitcoin is still going up. So again, their whole case is based on a maybe. It's haram because maybe this will happen. Anyway, this is one of the worst one. Cash being in the bank may be part of the riba system, but it's not my sin, it's the bank's. Okay, first and foremost, they haven't even understood the argument in the first place. The money that is there, the fiat money itself came through riba. Forget the banks. Before the banks even got involved, the actual fiat you have came from riba. So that's the first one. You don't have to involve yourself with the bank to be involved in riba. You're involved in riba by just having the money in the first place. But that's just the first part. Then putting it into the banks is not my problem, that's their problem. Okay. So you're telling me that if you know of the local brothel, yeah? There's a guy who runs a local brothel. You know what he does with his money, you know what he does with his income. But you know that everyone leaves their money with him to look after it because apparently he's got boys who looks after, he's got heavies who looks after his funds because it's a brothel, isn't it? And people use that to keep the money safe. That you're going to willfully give your money to a brothel because that's their sin, not yours. Is that how we Muslims have become? That we see clear-cut criminals doing criminality and we give them money to continue that criminality and we say, that's their sin, not my sin? Is that how low Muslims have become today? Is that our level of deen? That we just like, as in the Messenger of Allah says, whoever sees evil, then change it with their hand. If you can't change it with your hand, then do it with your tongue. And if you can't change it with your tongue, then do it with your heart. And that's the lowest of Iman. Is that our level of Iman? Whereby we see one of the worst crimes of humanity, where the lowest form of that crime is like sleeping with your own mother. You have a whole ecosystem, a whole institution built around that crime, and not even the lowest level, the highest level of that crime, enforcing it upon the whole nations of people, making our whole lives so that we can't exist without this crime. And you say, oh, I don't care, that's their sin. I'll give them my money to continue their sin. I'll give them my money so they can use my money as collateral for more loans. Is that where we've come as Muslimin? We can't escape it. No, we can. You can. Put your money in Bitcoin, put your money in gold. You can, if you want to, but clearly you don't. Salaries, rents, etc. Again, excuses. You get paid in your bank, it takes you a couple of seconds to take it out of your bank. So you're making effort. You as the hadith said, you are changing it with your hand. You're making effort to change it with your hand.
Sorry from Pippi. Did you order the wall plugs?
Sorry, walkie-talkie. I'll talk to you in a minute. I'm just recording a video. Hold on. Sorry. What was I saying? Yeah. So it doesn't take you long to do that. Is it difficult? Yes, it is. But where is it in Islam? Where is it in Islam that says that your life on this planet Earth has to be easy? Where? Okay, so it's a bit inconvenient to move your money out of the bank every minute. Oh, boo-hoo, how bad is that? I can't live without the banks, really. Whatever, anyway. When I replied, this is the person said the question, I said, when I replied mentioning that there are alternatives mentioned, we'll always need some banks as emergency. Sorry, When I mentioned, when I replied mentioning that there are alternatives, they mentioned we'll always need some in bank, in emergency, etc. So we'll always be there regardless, no escape. Okay. So you're saying that because I may need to put some small portion of wealth in the bank for an emergency, therefore I must put all of my money in the bank in an emergency. And therefore I must deem Bitcoin to be haram as a Bitcoin. This is a whole discussion about Bitcoin, by the way. So that is supposed to somehow lead me to believe that I don't need Bitcoin because it's an argument of falsehood. It's an argument of falsehood. Basically, this person is just salty. I'm guessing. They may not be salty, they may be genuine, but from the way they're arguing, they've made their mind up that Bitcoin is haram. They've made their mind up they want a part of it, and they're just adding excuses to justify their decision. But everyone has their limit of capitulation. Everybody has their limit of capitulation. I've seen the most obstinate rejectionist people as it's to Bitcoin, but there came a price point of Bitcoin where they eventually said, you know what, I need to get in. Everyone has their price point where they capitulate. This person hasn't reached their price point yet. And it's not a problem. My advice to all of you here who are watching this, obviously if you're here watching, you've already jumped onto the ship, the boat of Bitcoin. My advice to you is don't try your best to convey the good so that others can avoid riba, take possession of their sovereignty, and hopefully maybe even be a part of the future of the currency, we have right now in Bitcoin. If someone was not interested, say, Jazakallah khair, ma'a salama, move on. Don't waste your time trying to convince someone who is clearly not listening. I've been doing this for many, many, many years, and I've come across people who have spent years going back and forth with me with the same nonsense that they see right here. Nothing new, the same nonsense we see right here. I've heard it for years, but even after years, after 3-4 years, eventually they capitulate. Eventually they see that it was fallacy, it was just an argument, it was just an excuse. Just my advice, don't waste your time with these arguments. And they conclude by saying, I have watched your objection series, but thought these arguments were a slightly different approach. No, actually they weren't. But what you need to do is start to frame their arguments or their discussion in a way that lets you see the reality of what they're trying to say. So for example, I mentioned here about not tangible, not being genuine. How many things are not tangible? That is actually a currency they don't have any objections to. This is one of my biggest annoyances in this discussion. All of these discussions, most of what their objections actually apply to fiat or gold or even silver, but yet they don't mention that. It's as if their arguments only exist for Bitcoin. And even I read this the other day, some person, sheikh, whatever, made an argument against Bitcoin, saying it's not ethical. He said, I'm not saying it's haram, but it's unethical to have Bitcoin because of energy usage. So Bitcoin is unethical due to energy usage, but fiat and riba is ethical. Do you see the imbalance here? How people are silent about riba, they are silent about fiat, but they're vocal about Bitcoin. Anyway, I've had enough of this. You get the gist. If you want to book a call on a website, if you want to see our material on the website, there. I'm just a bit annoyed. I'm sick and tired of these nonsense arguments, and especially I'm annoyed when it comes from those who are supposed to be learned. Anyway, forgive me. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, and may Allah give you plenty Bitcoin. Assalamu alaikum.